Powered by WCTV.tv. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
It has been a soggy day all across our area. Severe weather rolling through earlier in the morning, rain sticking around much of the day. Meteorologist Mike McCall is joining us now. Mike, how much rain so far and how much more can we expect?
We've seen some buckets coming down total since midnight, in some areas exceeding 4 or 5 inches of rainfall. Most of us not nearly that much, but in between all the heavy rain, we have seen a couple of strong and even isolated severe storms. Now currently we don't have any watches or warnings for most of us, but extreme northern parts of the area from Dougherty County northward, we have a severe thunderstorm warning. And as you get into southeast Alabama, we've had a warning for this cell that's moving more toward Dothan. We'll watch it as it approaches parts of southwest Georgia. Likewise with the storm that's moving from Jackson into Seminole County. So let's look in closer, put this stuff into motion over the last hour. And you can see mainly just some showers and a couple little thunderstorms. Every once in a while, one of these get pretty strong, like the one moving through Berrien County, also through northern Clinch. And if you look toward the upper part of the screen, you can see that cell that is just kind of grazing the northern parts of Dougherty County, moving off toward the northeast. And likewise, down toward the lower left, you can see another cell moving to the east of Mariana and moving over extreme southern parts of Seminole County, crossing over Lake Seminole. Again, no warning for that, but it's a strong storm. You can certainly see some 30 or 40 mile per hour winds. Tallahassee, Monticello, down to Crawfordville, pretty quiet right now, but there's still a pretty good chance we'll see at least some more scattered showers and a few storms. The morning round had a few dangerous wind gusts with it in excess of 40 or 50 miles per hour. And then this round coming on through. The good news is that while we still have a decent chance for some scattered storms this evening, the worst of it will stay to our north. And then some more developing tomorrow to our south. We'll explain how that all works out in the forecast in just a few more minutes.
Wow, I knew it was raining a lot. I didn't realize 4 to 5 inches. All right, Mike, thanks so much. In other news, vandalism at a local Buddhist monastery resulting in nearly $50,000 in damage. It was discovered at about 6 o'clock this morning at the Vienyak Buddhist Monastery on Tallahassee's north side. This man, now behind bars, deputies arresting 28-year-old Ahmad Hinson. He is being charged with burglary, criminal mischief, and more. Monks at that monastery making the shocking discovery this morning. Erica Fernandez spoke to some of them who say their sacred place of worship is now destroyed.
The Buddhist monks who live here are heartbroken today. They say they don't know why anyone would do this, bashing and knocking over religious statues. They try to live in peace and spread the message of compassion. The man who lives here didn't want to go on camera today, but says his sister heard a noise in their garden just before 6 o'clock this morning. He walked outside to find his car moved to the middle of the yard and destruction everywhere. Nothing was stolen, but everything out of place. Statues missing limbs and plants knocked over. He's lived here for 4 years and says he's never had any problems. It's not a public monastery, but it's the only Buddhist monastery in Tallahassee, and he says people come in to visit all the time.
I am saddened because in this world we have to keep peace. And our neighbors there have been nothing except very nice and gentle.
Childers says the monks have always been kind to her and her co-workers. They always wave to each other and say hello in the morning. She says they've never had any noise complaints or problems coming from this area. Reporting in Tallahassee, Erica Fernandez, WCTV Eyewitness News.
Hinson is set to make his first court appearance tomorrow morning. He's currently being held at the Leon County Detention Facility. More vandalism over the weekend at the patio shop in Tallahassee. Tallahassee police believe that happened sometime between Friday night and Saturday morning. The business is located at 1475 Capitol Circle Northwest, and it's been in Tallahassee since 1998. Lenitra Bennett spoke with one of the owners today. Lenitra, what are they saying about this?
Julie, the owners are devastated. They say over the years, they've been used to small things like some of the items being knocked over or something like that. But this is something on a totally different level. Let's look at what things look like when they arrived here Saturday morning. The owners say nothing was taken, but to see everything that was left behind is heartbreaking. Dozens of concrete statues smashed, broken, knocked over, some completely destroyed. They estimate about $20,000 in damage. The only thing keeping them going right now is the support that they're receiving from the community.
Online and everything has really done a lot. So you don't feel alone. I mean, Tallahassee's a great city. I love it. I hate to see anything happen to anybody, so to see everybody kind of help out, you know, people stopping by, just giving you a hug, that means a lot.
The Tallahassee Police Department is investigating the incident. A spokesperson told me that they cannot say for sure whether it is linked to the other vandalism at the monastery, but it is something that they are looking into. Now, that part that we just heard from Mr. Walker, that was the only part where he got a little choked up talking about this to me earlier today. He's trying to stay in good spirits, but coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll hear much more from him where he's taking me through this whole yard and showing me just how bad this vandalism is. We'll also hear from one of the customers, one of the great people who is supporting them during this hard time. For now, Julie, back to you.
All right, Lenitra, thanks so much. Certainly hate to see that and glad he's getting that hug from the community. Thank you. Well, disaster overseas, hitting home in both Tallahassee and in Valdosta. Combat Rescue Officer Captain Mark Weber was killed Thursday when his helicopter went down in Iraq. Captain Weber was based at Moody Air Force Base and assigned to the 28th Rescue Squadron. Veterans in Valdosta described that unit like first responders, flying in, risking their lives to save others.
It being a small town, and you know, we look to all of those that serve. Those are our heroes. Have a first responder, if you will, that ends up, you know, losing their life in the pursuit of saving another. It's you know, it's almost one of those double-edged, you know, kind of hurts.
We did reach out to Moody Air Force Base for comment today, but they were not available. We did confirm last week that Staff Sergeant Carl Ennis died in that same crash. He was an FSU graduate stationed at Florida's Patrick Air Force Base. Family members telling us Ennis was a paratrooper and a really good man. Well, in light of the recent mass shooting at a Florida high school, Thomas County schools are now planning some big changes. Today, local law enforcement traveling to schools, discussing plans should an active shooter walk onto campus. Teachers very vocal today in sharing their concerns. Their biggest issue, there isn't a practice drill for an active shooter inside their school.
Even as a teacher, I wouldn't know what to do. I know what my gut would tell me to do, but is that the right thing to do? You know, I feel like a lot of things just go through your mind, wondering, you know, what the situation is going to be, and you play it out 1,000 times, but that may not be the situation.
The school says they are adding practice drills and training soon. They're also looking to up security by adding more resource officers on campuses. Prioritizing infrastructure in the Big Bend. The Capital Regional Transportation Planning Agency meeting this afternoon. Capital City correspondent Marielle Carbone was there. And Marielle, this group plans transportation needs in Wakulla, Gadsden, Jefferson, and Leon counties. Big question, big projects on the way?
There are, Julie, today that agency naming 2 Tallahassee projects as priority projects, which means that they're on the list to receive either state or federal funding. Now, that first project, it's a sidewalk project on Bluntstown Street, and that entails building a sidewalk on a nearly 1-mile portion of the road, starting at Highway 90 to Tharp Street. Now, right now, there are just man-made dirt footpaths from people walking there. Now, the funding request is about $900,000. City Commissioner Curtis Richardson calling the project sorely needed for years.
There's really nothing to separate the pedestrians from traffic, and so if someone swerved off the road, they could easily be impacted by that. And so to have a sidewalk that people can walk on, that maybe they can share with bicyclists, will be an important thing for that area.
Now, another project making the list, funding for a study on the Welaunee Boulevard extension. That would add a new 4-lane road between Centerville Road and Fleischman. And that's near the new canopy development that's happening over in Welaunee. So you might have seen some of the construction just for the development going on over there. But Julie, these lists, they're both for the years of 2020 to 2024. So they're not going to be seeing this funding immediately. But as soon as it becomes available, they'll have a chance to get it. And of course, just making those lists for priorities is just one of the first steps to making both of these projects become a reality. Reporting live from City Hall, Marielle Carbone, WCTV Eyewitness News.
All right, Marielle, and if you travel there, that stretch of Bluntstown Street, there are always people on those footpaths you showed us. Thank you. Well, the FSU men's basketball team still celebrating after beating #1 seed Xavier to advance to the Sweet 16. FSU fans are still celebrating too. Our Alicia Turner is talking with them. Alicia?
Julie, these fans, they're just over the moon excited. They say many people weren't expecting FSU to bring home that win, but the fact that they did and getting revenge against Xavier from last year falling to them, they say this makes it so much better. Now, I had a chance to get on Twitter not too long ago. I did see one tweet that says something so crazy as the fact that on ESPN, as far as the brackets is concerned, 0 people that registered their brackets actually had a perfect pick for all the teams that will be in the Sweet 16. I also saw some fans say they're going to be cheering on the Noles as they get ready to go on the West Coast and play that game in LA. They say they're so excited for them, and this is a team that's had an up and down season, so they're looking forward to them not only winning on Thursday but continuing that streak. So a lot of fans say this isn't what many people expected. I was one of those people that was screaming at the TV last night, so it was super exciting to see them win. Now, I'll be honest, the girls kickoff play against Buffalo at 6:30, and I was told just a few minutes ago that I'm actually in the wrong color because Buffalo's color is this pretty blue, but I just put it on to match my rain boots because of the weather. So although I look like I'm in the wrong color, I'm actually rooting for the Noles tonight when the ladies get ready to play, as well as the guys when they kick off on Thursday. So a lot of good things happening, and so these fans say they're super excited to see all that's happening here.
Yeah, certainly a lot to cheer about for FSU basketball, and I'm right there with you, yelling at my TV and jumping off the couch. All right, congrats to the Noles on women and men on their run in this postseason. And still to come on Eyewitness News at 5, itchy eyes, scratchy throat, sudden sneezing. If that sounds like you right now, it may be more than springtime adding to your allergies. We're talking about a new trend next.